Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so have you ever gotten a compliment from someone and it just meant a whole lot to you? Like it was either something that you really wanted someone to notice, or maybe it just touched you in a way because it had some substance to it. Like it wasn't just something that somebody says, oh, you're cute, or oh, maybe like, oh, your hair looks nice today. Like it was something that you really wanted someone to notice. Well, the quote I ended up deciding to choose was, I can live for 3 months on a good compliment by Mark Twain. I chose this one because I kind of agree with it, only because a compliment can really make your day. Honestly, it can make your year off of just one thing that somebody says. I also kind of disagree with it because, I mean, for me personally, only for my personal reasons, I can live off a compliment forever, to be honest. Maybe way more than 3 months. So I feel like I should probably tell you a couple times that I've gotten a compliment from someone that's kind of either made my day, my year, or I just keep with me in my pocket and just help me get through a lot of things. The first one I'm going to talk about is one that I got from my original best friend. That he still lives back in Pennsylvania, but I talk to him about every other day. First thing he ever told me was that, and I quote, you gotta be the funniest person I've ever met. And I kind of took it to heart, because me personally, I don't think I'm funny. I don't think I do anything funny, to be honest. I really don't. I don't think I do anything funny at all. I think it's all by accident. But supposedly a lot of people think I'm funny. I mean, I feel as though if you're laughing, you're laughing. A lot of people say, don't laugh at me, laugh with me. I feel like if you're laughing, it counts. Oh well, that's just me. But I kind of kept that with me to think as though he didn't really know me that well, but he thought I was funny. So maybe for me, I feel as though if you can put a smile on anyone's face at any time during any day, your day is accomplished, no matter what you're doing. So I felt like if I was able to make him laugh by just doing anything, just being myself, I felt like that was kind of special. Another one I wanted to talk about was my mom. For anyone that actually knows me, my mom is like my true best friend. We share a lot in common. So kind of her kind of being there for me is a lot. And for her to tell me, well, she's told me multiple times, but the first time, for her to tell me that I kind of keep her going, I guess I count that as a compliment, even though it's just kind of like a phrase. But I count that as a compliment because she does a whole lot that a lot of people don't see behind the scenes. And for me to be like her, kind of like her motor, it's pretty dope to me, you know? Kind of makes me feel like I have something special that I do in the world, other than make people laugh by accident. Lastly, I kind of want to talk about my new group of friends, but they're kind of not new now. They're my newer group of friends. My group of friends in California. It's about maybe 5, 6 of them, which is a lot for me because I don't really a lot of people my friends. That's a lot. That's like a stretch in it. But it's nice. One thing that they all tell me is that I'm like the glue in the equation, which is kind of dope because I keep everything together, you know, which I don't try to. I'm just myself. I just stay out of people's business, and then if it gets too out of hand, then I kind of shut it down. But that's pretty much it for that whole situation. I think it's kind of cool though, because I don't really try too hard to do anything, and supposedly I'm moving mountains. So I think it's kind of dope. So imagine if I really gave all of my effort, you know. In closing, I feel as though compliment can take you far in the world. Maybe one day you're feeling down, you might think it's over, or you just have nothing to give, but a compliment can change that. And you never know, you can become the most famous person in the world just by what someone tells you that takes 5 seconds.
All right, those of you who needed evaluation forms, here are some evaluation forms. So can you distribute those, please?
I was like, I don't know. What if you're gonna have to fight for
I don't know,
it?
but no, I thought
I don't know. What if you're gonna
I don't know,
have
but I feel better good.
to do? Whoever gets knocked out first.
I don't know, but I feel better good.
And then once you put your name on them, you can return them to me. All right, James, I thought you had a reasonable rhetorical question as a detention device. Your thesis was pretty clear because you identified the topic, although it sounds like you're kind of straddling the fence on it. Once you get started, I think you do seem to suggest that you really do agree with the quote a lot more, and you preview the subject by talking about agreeing, disagreeing, and suggesting that in the long run it's way more. And then it sounded like you had another preview where you're saying, well, there's one that's good for a day, there's one that were good for a year, there's one that I carry in my pocket. And I'm going, okay, that's the structure. But as it turns out, none of those were really the structure of your speech. You had a different structure, which was very easy to follow. But like I said, it's not very well previewed in the presentation. And I thought you developed each of those points pretty well. So you had the story about your best friend back in Pennsylvania, the story about your mother, your story about your current friends and how you're the glue in that group of friends. And I thought that all worked pretty well. You developed some interesting points there. And I wouldn't say you're hysterical, but you're pleasant enough and funny enough, so there you go. So that worked well. I think you kind of have a soft voice, and you might need to emphasize and project a little bit more. This room is good for a speaker like you because your voice carries pretty well, but the energy level can kind of go out if you don't vary your voice a little bit more. So you have to maybe put in a little bit of extra effort there. It's paced very well. Your gestures at the beginning, it was a little problematic because there's a little playing with the topic, and once you finally get it all rolled up into a little ball, it becomes less distracting, and you are much more engaged in talking to us, and I thought that you improved there. Your eye contact and body movement, look, you do look at the audience, and you do face the audience, but mostly it's this part of the audience. These folks over here are subtly ignored for the most part because you kind of look over there most of the time, and your body is at a very slight angle there, and it does feel sometimes like you just decided, I'm going to find a friendly face back here, I'm going to talk to that person, and that'll be my easy way out of dealing with any anxiety issues. And I understand that, but they're not all that scary. Well, a couple of them are kind of scary looking, but most of them are pretty friendly looking. They'll be pretty supportive of you. So give them a chance. I think you need to do that for the audience. All right, thank you.